Hello, hello, hello. It is Mel, and I've got a few stories for you today from Am I the A-hole? Am I the a-hole for interrupting my husband's live stream and going off on him after he forgot to feed and change our daughter's diaper? I'm a 32-year-old female and my husband is a 35-year-old male. He has a YouTube channel with over 14,000 followers. He's been doing live streaming a lot lately, even though I told him that we have responsibilities to take care of. Before our daughter, she's 7 months old, was born, he'd stream randomly and spend a lot of time with his followers, answering questions and engaging in conversations. He keeps saying that his followers are good for his mental health and that engaging with them weekly makes him become better at socializing and communicating. He's been complaining about wanting to do a live stream for days. I told him we'd look at our schedule and see if we could get him some time to make it happen. Apparently, this wasn't good enough. Yesterday I had to go grocery shopping and I asked him to keep an eye on our daughter while she was asleep. He said okay. I was gone for 4 hours but kept calling him to see if everything was okay. He'd tell me she was all right and that she was sleeping. I started getting this weird feeling that something was wrong because she must have been hungry or needed a diaper change. He argued that everything was fine. I immediately went home and when I entered the house I didn't find him. I shouted his name but nothing. I went into the bedroom and saw that my daughter was awake and her diaper wasn't changed, and worse, her bottle wasn't even touched. I was confused, so I got out and I noticed that his office door was closed. I figured he was doing live streaming from the noise that I heard. I was beyond seething. I barged into the office and saw him sitting. I blew up while he was trying to turn his mic off and telling me to stop, but I didn't stop. I berated him for leaving our daughter unattended and with no milk nor diaper change. He freaked out on me, saying I just ended his entire channel and destroyed his fan base for interrupting his live stream and embarrassing and scandalizing him like that. I told him not to say a word, but he kept yelling, calling me out of control and unhinged. He was almost crying, so I had to leave the office. He kept fighting with me until I decided to go stay with my mom. He started blaming me for ignoring his needs after he already expressed them and that he forgot to do what I asked him and I'd cost him so much. Now he's telling us to come back home because he misses his daughter. So, wow, OP, you are not the a-hole. He deserved every bit of that so-called embarrassment that he got. He should have been acting like a father and not a child, right? Next one is, am I the a-hole for ruining my sister-in-law's honeymoon by exposing her racism? Posted by Throwaway22. Throwaway account, although my sister-in-law will probably recognize the story anyway, so I don't know why I even bother. I don't think what I did was an a-hole move at all, but maybe the timing was a bit off. But no, I don't think I'm an a-hole. Full stop. I'm 27 and female. My sister-in-law is 30 and female. She got married last weekend. She's my long-term boyfriend, 32, male, his sister. They're white and I'm Middle Eastern, and a dark one with raven black hair. She was looking for a photographer that didn't bankrupt her, so I suggested a friend of mine who's new in the business and charged less than half because these things cost over $5,000 these days. She was excited and I set up a group chat with her and my photographer friend. We talked a little, and later they met and they started messaging directly to each other. The wedding was amazing, and everything went smoothly. I was one of the guests, and she seemed happy. The next day, they went off to their honeymoon. I don't know if it was by mistake, but instead of texting the photographer directly like she's done for the past few months, she texted him to our old iMessage chat. She thanked him but had a favor to ask him and wondered whether he could retouch some asymmetry in the flowers in the archway, but also if he could take me off some photos because I'm too dark and I ruined the color palette. Not all pictures, just the ones she's in. I texted back, "Are you kidding me?" She didn't answer. I took a screenshot and posted it on my Insta story, tagging her in it. She called my boyfriend crying her eyes out, calling me an a-hole for embarrassing her and ruining her honeymoon. Boyfriend thought it was a low blow. I was blinded with rage when I did it. But even now I'm calm. I still don't feel like I was the a-hole. but people have been contacting her apparently asking if she really wrote this. She's so beautiful and successful, so please don't blame it on jealousy or being scared of being outshined. So for this one, you're definitely not the a-hole, but I'm stuck on the part where you're saying she's so beautiful and successful because even the most beautiful and successful can still feel really insecure. So maybe there is something to that, perhaps. I don't know, but you're definitely not the a-hole on this. Am I the a-hole for skipping my daughter's first birthday because I wanted to be at my sister's funeral? My wife, 27 female, and I, 28 male, have a daughter, Sarah, who turned 2 years old this June. I have a sister, 10 years old and female. I will call her Autumn. This event took place almost a year ago. My daughter's birthday was June 23rd. My sister Autumn got into an accident on May 14th/15th. She passed away on May 26th. I was devastated because we were always close. My parents decided to set her funeral on my daughter's birthday because that's the day the venue they rented was empty. When my wife heard about this, she was furious. She said she spent a lot of money on my daughter's first birthday. She said that the money she used on the party was now wasted. I got furious at this and we began arguing. The day of the funeral came and I went to the funeral. Many people came. When I got home, my wife was furious at me. It hurt me that she didn't even give her condolences and was just worried about Sarah's birthday. All my in-laws said that I'm an ass for not attending my own daughter's first birthday. So, am I? So, this was hard to read because the wife is absolutely ridiculous. Someone died. A human close to you died. For her to be angry with you when you get back from the funeral, that's completely unreasonable. You just had an emotional day dealing with a loss in your family. That just makes me mad. And your daughter isn't even going to remember the first birthday, so there's that. Your wife and everyone trying to make you feel bad are heartless idiots. So, absolutely uncalled for. So, next one is, am I the a-hole for walking out on my job with no warning when I'm one of the only employees? For context, I, female 18, have been working at this coffee shop for over 2 years now. I close 4 days a week with only me and one manager left to run the store from about 2 p.m. to close. The other 3 days, a kid, male 16, closes with a different manager. This is about the only staff we have, excluding the owner who will never close, another kid, male 19, who can only work day shifts due to college, another kid, male 18, also works days and does night classes, and a grown man who works in the back baking all morning and has another job in the afternoon, making him only available in the mornings. So they very clearly need me working there with them. I've been there for a while now and I really don't mind the people. They can be a bit rude sometimes, but I'm super shy and I don't talk much anyway, so I stay out of everyone's way and just get all my work done. Anytime I've worked with my manager, she tells me about how I'm the best employee she's worked with and she likes how I just get stuff done. Fast forward to a week ago. I went inside of work on one of my off days to say hi, order a coffee, and get a sandwich. I'm a vegetarian. I've struggled a lot with food and being able to eat enough for my whole life. And I've always had a hard time not getting grossed out when eating meat. So I stopped and my relationship with food got much better. So I ordered a grilled cheese and got my coffee and left. I was driving away and I went to take a bite. I take one swallow and it's fine. When I went to take another, I felt a super gross texture and I instantly spit out my food and pulled it apart. They put chicken in my sandwich. They know my diet and what I normally order. I was so upset, but I thought it was a mistake, so I took the loss on the $3 sandwich, felt a little gross, and moved on. The next day I went into work. When I get there, there's normally a shift change, so I get to see my other coworkers as they leave. I was talking to a guy in the break room while getting ready to work, and he was about to leave. I casually made a little joke about how I'm never coming to this place after they got my order wrong, just trying to mock rude customers. And I told him about my grilled cheese I ordered and how it came with meat. He laughed and told me that it was actually our manager that made me that, and it wasn't an accident. She wanted to pull a prank on me and make me try the chicken because she said it's delicious, and she even gave it to me free of charge anyway. After he told me what she said, I packed up all my stuff, took my hat and apron off, and told the manager what I'd heard, how I'm done, and how disrespectful that was to do. I'm still getting calls and texts telling me how rude it was to leave with no 2 weeks' notice, and how much this shows that I'm just petty and can't take a joke. They are so short-staffed now that they close early, and I know it's affecting business. So, am I the a-hole? This makes me wonder how old the manager is, because she is super immature. This could have made you sick. This was a waste of food. This was disrespectful. It was just childish. So many problems. You are not the a-hole, and it sounds like there's a real reason they are short-staffed, and it's all their own fault. Am I the a-hole for saying that I don't love my niece to her face? I know the title makes it look bad, but hear me out. I, 26 female, have a niece, Laura, 8 female. Through my sister, Kim, 33 female, and another niece, Amy, 6 female. Through my brother, Tom, 35 male. I know my siblings love their kids wholeheartedly, but when it comes to parenting, they each have different styles. This comes from the way that we were all brought up by our parents who used the "because I'm a parent and you're the child, obey me without question" mindset that we all resented. Kim is the type of mother who just can't seem to say and stick to the word no, while Tom will at least give an explanation as to why. While Amy is a sweet, energetic little girl, she does listen and knows to respect people's rules and boundaries. Laura does not. Laura is entitled. Laura is impatient. Laura is whiny. Laura will go through a massive tantrum if she is denied anything, and will get progressively worse the longer she is denied because she knows her mom will cave eventually. I haven't watched Laura since she was 6, and it was a nightmare. She yelled, screamed, kicked me, drew on the walls, and broke one of my framed pictures, all because I made her dinner instead of getting fast food. Kim did apologize for Laura, but shrugged off the idea of giving out a punishment, citing that kids will be kids. Never again would I be responsible for my niece. Amy, on the other hand, may need to be told something more than once, but ultimately is a respectful child. I definitely babysat for Tom multiple times and do fun activities with Amy when I can. This coming August, before the start of school, I was planning on going with some friends to the Mouse Kingdom in Florida. Due to life events, they dropped out, but I still wanted to go, and I asked Tom if he and his wife would be down to come with me, and I'd go 50-50 on everything with them. They were delighted, and we all decided to go. Obviously, Kim found out and wanted to come too, but we all knew she couldn't afford it, so I thought everything was settled. Well, Laura found out, and at our family dinner, she was super upset about Amy getting a surprise trip, but not her. She then looked at me and said, "Auntie, you have a nice job and no kids. You can pay everything." I told her that while I make more money than her mom, I can't pay for everything by myself. Laura said, "Yes, you can. You had money to pay for that car." She pointed to my new car in the driveway. "You can pay for me and Mommy to go." I refused, and cue the tantrum. It was awful, and she kept screaming, "Why?" and saying that if I really loved her, I'd make her happy by paying for the trip over and over. I kept refusing, and she got worse before I finally snapped and yelled that I didn't love her, that she was a mean little girl, and I didn't like being around her. That definitely shut her up for a moment before she started to sob and cry. Kim is berating me for being so heartless and that I'm evil for favoring one niece over the other. Am I the a-hole? So OP edited to add for clarification. Yes, I am aware that Laura's behavior is on Kim's choice of parenting. Yes, Tom and I have spoken to Kim about Laura's behavior more than once, but it falls on deaf ears. At the end of the day, we have no authority over Laura, so there's only so much we can do. Laura doesn't have a dad, and Kim is a single mom, which is why she can't afford the trip. I wasn't negotiating with Laura. I just kept saying no, but that wasn't good enough for her. I tried to walk away, but she would keep following me, demanding that I pay. I didn't tell Kim about the trip, and neither did Tom, but we did tell our aunt, and I think that's how Kim found out. No, Amy didn't tell Laura because it was supposed to be a surprise. Another addition is that she wrote her parents are dead, so they don't have an opinion on this. So it sounds like Kim needs to wake up and start disciplining her child properly before it's too late. As for OP, you are a bit of an a-hole for telling her you don't love her. Telling her she's mean and it makes you not want to do anything nice for her when she acts that way would be one thing, but it sounded like you were much harsher than that. So, I don't know. I feel like you kind of are an a-hole a little bit in this. That was Am I the A-hole? And it would really help me out if you would subscribe and like the video if I should do more like this. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.